Hello everybody, peace, welcome to another episode, and today I'm going to be talking about a true crime story. I wanted to start doing some of these actually, which is going to be talking about a woman from a very long time ago who was doing some very bad things to children by taking them away from her parents.
From beautiful seas to flourishing legacies.
Right? So anyway, I made a video about something like this recently, and I'm not sure how recent I'll be releasing this after it, but anyway, check it out. It's called Adolescent Netflix Review, and in that video it portrays a young boy who does a crime, and then there is a whole conversation about why he did it. So in that video I wanted to talk a little bit about the roots of our children's behaviors, our behaviors, honestly, when we grow older and when we were children as well, and hopefully give a little bit of solace to parents who are worrying about their children after watching depictions of children on television and really like dramatizing it and making it something that wasn't true, right? A lot of the stuff, in my opinion, was not true about the reason why this boy did what he did. Check it out anyway, but the point is, this video is another episode, but it's to do with children. But it's to do with children in a way that is where other people claim to know what is good for your children. And today, in this day and age, they'll be giving you advice about it. They'll be guilt tripping you. They will be doing things to your children that they think you should be doing, all of that stuff. But the example that I'm going to give is something that someone did, I believe, about over nearly 100 years ago. I know, it's a while ago. I can't remember where it was again. I think it was definitely somewhere in America. Maybe it was Tennessee. But the point is, there was this woman. And this woman was a social worker. She was actually a social worker. And she would go to different mothers' homes, single women, by the way, it was single women, and she would visit them. She would get them to sign a document that belonged to the state, and then when their back was turned, she would take their children and then she would sell them to people who were rich, who had a mother and a father, right? And her ideology, the reason why she started doing this and being inspired to do this, right, was because she wanted to give the children a better life, because she felt that the single mothers were incapable of taking care of their children. That's why she did it. She said that those parents were unfit parents because they were poor, they were working class, and they were single, mothers who were single. So she took their children and she put them in an orphanage, and then she sold them, putting advertisement inside newspapers talking about their features, blue eyes, blonde hair, like a doll, objectifying them, and then she would sell them, right? She'd make a lot of money, and then she continued doing this for a few years actually. I think it must have been even up to 20 years. Correct me if I'm wrong. But the point is that as mothers and as fathers, it is so hard being a parent. And if you ever get together with another parent, you will have this kind of tension sometimes, and the other parent will be super defensive over your child, or their child, and anything that you say kind of doesn't sit right, because there is this basis of insecurity that we have as parents, which is very normal. I know insecurity isn't a nice word, but it's very normal, because if you care about your children enough and you love them so much, you're always going to feel like you want to do more for them, right? What I want you to take away from this video is that there will be people who will come to you and they will make you feel purposely, for their own agendas, like you are doing a really bad job taking care of your children, that they should go to bed earlier, that you should brush their hair every single day, right? Okay, maybe you should brush, yeah. I'm giving an example, as you could tell, it's a little personal to me. So my daughter, she has curly hair, right? And I would brush it like every 2 days because it was so painful trying to brush her hair, and she was always like, so I'd wait for it to be wet, give it a wash, and then brush it. But now I do brush it every day. But anyway, the point is, like, people would come to me and they would complain about her hair, and they actually, like, people who have no relation to her were combing her hair for her. They were brushing my daughter's hair. And I remember saying to the people who were there, I said that you shouldn't be doing that. That doesn't feel right to me because I'm their mother, and it's brushing the hair is a very intimate thing. In fact, it's so intimate that I actually wrote it. I wrote this in my novel way before this whole incident happened, but it's the motion of a young girl and you know, a lady's relationship with her mother, and she's brushing the girl's hair, and it's a show of kind of like intimacy and connection, right? So these random people are coming and brushing my daughter's hair because they think her hair should be brushed, right? And I began to think like, you know, should I be brushing her hair more often? And anyway, the point is that everyone, I answered that question about whether I should be brushing her hair a very long time ago. Let's not talk about that right now. It's a personal topic. But anyway, the point is, the question is, right, people will come to you with different opinions about what is good for your child. They will say that you should homeschool them. That's so much better for them, for their development, right? Or other people will say you need to take them to school, right? You need to take them to this school specifically. And other people will say, you should do this. And other people will say, you should do that. And another person will say, oh, she should dress more like this. Or, you know, she should start doing this. Anyway, point is, everyone has an opinion. And a lot of the time, people so easily give their opinion when you're the one who's around your child for an elongated period of time. Another thing about my child, my daughter, is that she's highly sensitive, right? So she doesn't like people to laugh at her. And that is something that is a characteristic of the highly sensitive nervous system. It's a nervous system type, right? So anytime someone's laughing at her, she gets really upset. So people will come and they'll like laugh, like she'll do something cute and then they'll start laughing at her and she'll get really, really, really tense. And a lot of people are like, she's too high strung, like, you know, she should like relax a little bit. But again, it's that kind of coming from the ignorance and, you know, when I defend her and I say like, you know, she sees things in a different way, she feels things in a different way. And, you know, you have to adapt to the child in that way. They'll be like, you're too soft. You should let her do this. You shouldn't let her express herself this much and all of that. So yeah, you know your child better than anybody else does, right? And people will only see a glimpse of your connection with them and they will make all sorts of assumptions and judgments, right? I remember one time I was at an event and I remember the lady was sitting around me and her children were coming and jumping and she was really angry. She was like, get off. And I remember instantly, even I fell to a judgment. I was like, whoa, that's a bit harsh. You should be a little bit more gentle with your children. And yeah, she probably should have been, whatever, right? But then at the same time, I thought to myself, how many times have I, with my children, been so annoyed? I'm like, stop it, you know, right? And then it's so easy to put judgment on other people and not look at ourselves, right? So the point of this is just to say that you're doing an amazing job. If you care enough about your children that whenever someone says something to you, begin to feel like you want to do better, then you're a good parent. Just to continue to do what you do and to understand that you know your child better than anybody else will ever know your child. You gave birth to them. You've been around them all their life. You put them to sleep. You know their routines. You know their habits. You know their temperament. So when someone comes to you with some piece of advice, that you should do it this way instead, then politely accept it if it's good. Of course, you know, you have to accept a bit of advice. I brush my daughter's hair now every day, alhamdulillah, right? That's what happened in the end. But then at the same time, have that strength within you as a mother, as the strongest human being that I believe exists on this planet, a mother. And just know that, you know what? I know what is good for my child. And with the help of Allah, I'm going to be all right and we're going to do all right. Bismillah. So anyway, I hope this video was helpful. And if you want a free chapter of my book, it's a gift. It's a free chapter of my book. The Woke Writer is all about surrender, all about letting go. Check it out, download it, and then you'll get on my email list and I'll send you some amazing stuff as well, God willing. You'll always be updated with what's happening. Check out my Creative Corner. It's a playlist that I created. It's a little messy. It's all over the place. That's the intention. for a little bit of inspiration. I got a bit of poetry there, a little bit of tips for anyone who wants to create a legacy, whether you want to write a book or whether you want to create something else, a video course, whatever it is, right? Check it out, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Have a beautiful and blessed day, everyone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace.